Hey guys, welcome. So we just finished through um the digestive system, and now we are moving on and starting to learn about the circulatory system. Now, what is the circulatory system, you might ask? And well, think about it like a highway of networks or a highway of links that connects all the parts of your body, from your head to your toe, from your arms to your legs, from your torso to the rest of your body. So it's literally like a highway of network. And the circulatory system actually consists mainly of organs like the heart. It also contains blood and blood vessels. Clearly, we are talking about a system that has everything to do with how you will survive. One of the most important systems there is that can help us survive because we are so dependent on our blood for transporting various materials from one part of our body to the other part of our body. Now, you might wonder, what exactly do you mean that it is necessary for our survival? What exactly is the function of a circulatory system? Well, one important function of the circulatory system is actually to deliver various substances to different parts of our body, to different cells of our body. Now, this can include oxygen. This can also include glucose or other nutrients. The second function kind of would be to remove waste products that our body produces and to carry them away from the cells that produce them. And it has one more important function, and that is to actually fight diseases fight the germs or bacteria that can cause diseases that enter our body by carrying various white blood cells to the source of the disease. Now, the white blood cells are actually the fighter cells. They fight the germs, they fight the bacteria, and kill them to make sure no harm comes to our body. But we'll talk about that in more detail later. But let's focus on how exactly the circulatory system works. Now, we know for sure that the circulatory system needs the blood, right? Because it's highly dependent on blood. Heart functions with blood, blood vessels carry blood, so it's highly dependent on blood. So what actually happens is that the blood cells actually carry the energy or glucose and the oxygen that we breathe in from the cells to all over our body. So that's, in short, very short, what actually happens within our own body. But how exactly does it work? Well, the heart that we have pumps. It works like a pump, and it pumps the blood to make it work. And each time our heart beats, it actually pushes the blood through the blood vessels of the circulatory system. And now think about our heart as kind of like a hollow muscular organ, right? It is hollow so that it can actually take in blood and pump it out after it has been cleared. But let's try and fill these questions first before we talk about how exactly it looks like. And there we go. Now, let's move on to the second part of this assignment where we talk about how exactly the heart looks like. As I already said, as you can see here, it looks very hollow, right? And that is to make sure that the blood can actually come in, collect there, and pump out. So it is a hollow but very muscular organ that pumps your blood. Now, there are right and left sides of the heart. As you can see here, this is the right side of the heart and this is the left side of the heart. But it is completely separated by a wall of tissue. Now, as you can see right here, there is the right side, the left side, and it is divided by this pink tissue in between. Now, this pink tissue right here is actually called something known as the septum. All right? So this pink tissue is called the septum, which divides the two parts of the heart. Now, each side, again, has two different chambers. As you can see by the different colors of these chambers, we have something called the atriums. Now, these are the upper parts, And we also have something called ventricles. Now, these are the lower parts, as you can see in this diagram, right? Now, there are also something called valves. Now, the valves actually separate the chambers. As you can see here, do you see these white little substances in each of these chambers? Now, these are known as the valves. As you can see here, there are pulmonary valves and the tricuspid valves. Those are different types of valves, but we have those valves that actually separate each of those chambers. And what it does is it prevents the blood from flowing in the wrong direction. Now, if you want the blood to flow in from this direction, these valves will make sure that nothing happens, that it goes in the opposite direction of what was originally intended. Now, using this information, let's try and fill in this note sheet. I will give you guys about 2 minutes, and let's get started. Well, there we go. So now we know what exactly the heart looks like. Let's complete this session with one more little part, and that is what exactly or how exactly does the heart pump? Now, we already said that heart is like a pump in our body that pumps in blood and pumps out blood, right? So what happens is when the strong muscles, right? So as you know, it's a very muscular organ. When the muscles around the ventricles contract, they exert a kind of force on the blood. And this force actually pushes the blood out of the heart and then into the arteries. So that's what's happening. So as you can see, we have arteries here, right? So the blood comes in, it goes into the ventricles. There's a pumping effect that happens, which forces the blood out, and then it gets out of the artery. And then eventually to the different parts of the body that it needs to reach to. Now let's try and use that information to complete this very last part of this activity. All right. And there we go. So now we know what the heart looks like, what the circulatory system consists of, and how the heart pumps. And this is all that I have for you guys, and I will see you guys later. Please feel free to pause the video at any point to make sure your answers are similar to mine. And if they are not, make those changes if necessary. And I will see you guys later. Bye.